So today I was golfing with a good buddy of mine, David. What's up, David? And I got a text from my land acquisitions guy that said, hey, we just got a wire for $31,406. This particular land deal closed in Florida. And I just couldn't believe it. I was so shocked. I mean, the fact that I got this text while I was golfing on a Friday around 11 a.m. just blew my mind. I was so excited. I've done lots and lots of deals, but I'm not trying to boast, maybe trying to do a little humble brag here. But here I am on the golf course with a friend, walking 9 holes, beautiful day, and I get a text, hey, we are closing on a deal. We got a wire today for $31,000, flipping a vacant lot way down in Florida. So on this video, I'm going to walk through all the details, how we find the deal, how we sold the deal, some of the challenges and lessons learned, how we did this so you can do it too. And listen, I'm kind of humbly bragging here a little bit. It was so much fun. We've done a lot of deals. In fact, these numbers that I show you are not typical. They're not your average deals. Most people who get into land investing, who buy some kind of make money from home business opportunity program, never make any money doing real estate. So the numbers that I'm giving you are real, they're legit, but I didn't make them up. You just have to know that you have to work hard. You have to invest in marketing. I've been doing this for a long, long time, and I understand what works and what doesn't. And I've gotten pretty good at doing what works. So if you want more information about how this stuff works, go get my free land kit at simplelandkit.com. In there, I'm going to give you the direct mail swipe file, the direct mail that I use. I'm going to give you the contracts that I use, the scripts that I use with realtors, which, by the way, we're going to be talking about here in this because we used a realtor to sell the deal. I'm going to be talking about the how to find the best markets, and I'm going to give you a lot of other really cool, my software to use that we use to calculate offers and find, to send contracts and make offers on deals. All of that is included for free right now at simplelandkit.com. Simplelandkit.com. All right, so I've got this deal here on my iPad, and this was the text I got, okay? $31,406 wired to our account. And the text from my business partner, Matt, down there below, it says, we closed on that bigger Florida lot today. So cool. And I just wanted to show you guys, in case you didn't believe me, that I was actually golfing. And this is what my golf swing looks like. It's not that bad. I'm really swinging slow there because I just had open heart surgery 3 months ago, and I have to take it really, really easy. So I'm intentionally trying to swing slow. Look, I try not to bring the club up more than half, and I did. Oh, that's pretty bad. But I'm feeling great, especially after this. All right, so I wanted to kind of walk through the details of this deal and show you what we did, okay? So let me go into the details here. Now, this was a very competitive market, very competitive. This is in an area in, I'm trying to keep it general and vague, but this is in an area, southern Florida somewhere. And I wanted to do it in a competitive area because I hear all the time from people that my market is too competitive, it's too hard, it doesn't work here. Or I tried doing deals there, but I had a hard time, and but everybody said no to my offer, this doesn't work. But regardless, I went into a very competitive county in Florida, and normally most of our deals come from direct mail. This one actually came from cold calling. I have a friend of mine, my coaching business partner, Gavin, has some VAs. And so we were doing a workshop for our students. By the way, we have one coming up here. If you're interested, go to joemccall.com/workshop to find out when we're doing the next one, joemccall.com/workshop. But during the workshop, we wanted to demonstrate how to do cold calling, and we wanted to actually call some sellers live and talk to them. So we did a bunch of cold calling, and I had Gavin's VAs do the cold calling for me, and then I had another company that I used do some cold calling for me, and they both went at it. So we got a total of about 400 leads from cold calling. About half of them came from Gavin. The other half, a little bit more actually, maybe 2/3 came from Gavin's VAs and 1/3 came from this other guy. Well, anyway, one of these leads came from Gavin's VAs, so shout out to Gavin. So we got more leads than we could handle, even though I don't know how to spell handle. But Yeah. So we actually eventually made offers on all of them, but there were too many. Normally, when you get a cold calling lead, your VA calls the leads, or you do, and then you call them back and you talk to them, okay? But we had, again, 400 of them, so we just sent offers and then only talked to the ones after they got our offer, and this was one of them, okay? So this was a property on the water next to a mobile home park. Now, normally, vacant land next to a mobile home park, maybe you could say is not that valuable, but this one is. And the thing that's interesting, because it was on the water, we were concerned about being on a floodplain, on a wetland. But, we just thought, well, let's see what happens. And this property, I'll talk about it later, had been listed for an offer for a while and hadn't sold yet, but we didn't know that. How did we get this list too? By the way, let me explain this. We pulled a list of vacant landowners in this particular county in Florida who have owned land for over 10 years, who live outside of the county. That's it. We pull, and in this area, most of the lots that sell are between 1/4 acre and 1/2 acre. So we pulled all of the vacant lots between 0.2 acres and 20 acres, I think. And we got about 18,000 that we pulled. Is that right? About that number. And then we cold called half of them, and we sent direct mail to half of them. It's important that you understand the quality of a lead from cold calling is just different than a quality of a lead from direct mail campaigns. So direct mail campaign quality leads are better, okay? So this lady, it was listed, but we didn't know it because we pulled this large list. And the list that we pulled was from a software company called Priced, P-R-Y-C-D. If you want more information, just check out joemccall.com/PRYCD. joemccall.com/priced, and you'll get a special deal if you go through them. I think they give you 200 free credits or something like that if you tell them I sent you. And I do get a little commission out of that, but I appreciate it. So we called the VAs, called this lady. She said, I'm not doing anything with the property. Just make an offer. She wanted to sell it ASAP. She was motivated. Now, I have some numbers I'll show you in a minute. I can't believe we still got this deal. It's crazy. She said just basically make an offer. She had owned this property since 2004, which explains why it showed up on our list. Again, we pulled a list of vacant landowners who live outside of that county, who have owned their property for over 10 years, and she was interested. And again, it was about 3.7 acres and in a floodplain. Like I said, most of the properties in this area that have sold recently are little 1/4 acre lots. This was a 3.7 acre lot, and I was a little nervous. But the lady, this is crazy. She bought it for $500,000 back in 2004, which was about 19 years ago. She just didn't care. And this happens a lot with vacant land, which is why I love vacant land more than houses. These sellers, they just don't care anymore. They just want out of it. They're done with it. They don't care. So she had it listed, and this is what's crazy. She originally listed it in April 2023, which is about 5 months ago. She had it listed for $470,000. Remember, she bought it 19 years ago for $500,000. So she listed it for $470,000. A month later, she dropped it to $450,000. A month later, she dropped it to $420,000. And then she dropped it again at $380,000. Okay, now this property was listed. We didn't know that. We just downloaded a huge list. We cold called everybody on it, and she happened to be the owners of one of these properties that was listed. So when we made the offer, we sent it directly to her. So I just want you to know that we did not try to go around the realtor. We did work with their realtor, but at the same time, we were dealing directly with the seller. And because I'm not a licensed agent, it's not a big deal. But if you are a licensed agent and you get caught, quote unquote, trying to go around the sign, you can get in trouble. You just got to be really careful with that. It's not like you can't do marketing, but if you know a property is if you know that a property is listed with a realtor, you can't intentionally market directly to that seller if you're a licensed agent. Does that make sense? But, if you're sending out thousands and thousands of letters every single week or month, and then if you send, do some cold calling and you accidentally send some marketing to somebody who had a listed property, you understand? It's not a big deal. So this property, though, was listed for $380,000 when we contacted the seller. So we originally contacted the seller in May when it was listed for about $420. She kept on lowering the price. So we offered $215,000. I'm not kidding. We offered $215,000. It was listed for $380,000. We offered $165,000 less than the list price. How dare you, Joe? What were you thinking? How could you do that? Listen, the numbers are the numbers. We're only going to make an offer on what works for us. We don't care, to be honest, what she bought it for 19 years ago. We don't. We're only going to make an offer on a number that works for us. You got to remember this too. We are deal finders, not deal creators. Let me say that again. Write that down. We are deal finders, not deal creators. What happens when you become a deal creator? You start compromising on your maximum allowable offer. You start saying, you know what, okay, maybe we can offer you more if you do seller financing or lease option. Now, there is a place for that, all right? But we knew our numbers, and this was a little, normally we're buying properties for 20. This was like a little bit outside of our comfort zone, buying it for $215,000. But we thought, this is what we know is going to work for us. Let me say something else too. If you are making an offer to a seller and you don't feel this like queasy, oh my gosh, I don't know if this is going to work, I'm going to make them really, really mad. If you don't have that feeling in your gut, like, you're probably offering too much. Now, sometimes, again, you can offer too much to a seller if you're doing some kind of creative financing, owner financing, lease option, or something like that. But if you're making a cash offer, it does not matter what the list price is, what they owe on their mortgage, what other people are offering, what the seller wants. It doesn't matter. You have to make offers on the numbers that work for you because we are deal finders first. We're not deal creators. Does that make sense? Some people get really scared. Well, if I make an offer, I'm going to make them mad. But you got to get that out of your head and just make offers. I'm going to talk about this later, the number one rule in real estate. I'll leave that as a cliffhanger teaser. So the seller here in this wanted, they just wanted to sell it. They were done. So the seller signed the contract about a week after we sent it. Here's the crazy thing in our contracts as well. We had 3 months to close. It was a one-page contract. We had 3 months to close, and we did not give an EMD or an earnest money deposit. Wait a minute. I thought you had to do earnest money deposits. I thought you could only do 30 days. This is why I love vacant land. We don't have to, do a 2-week inspection contingency and put $5,000 down as earnest money. We can give ourselves 3 months to close. We don't have to do any earnest money, and our contract even allows us to extend it another 30 days if we want. But you should know within a week or two, within a month or two, whether you have a good buyer or not. But our one-page contract gives us 3 months to close, and we do not do any earnest money deposit, all right? So here are the numbers on this deal. It was listed for what? $380,000. We got it under contract while it was listed. Doesn't matter, but we didn't put it on the MLS. We put it on our website. We put it on some other websites that we advertise on. We did not put it on the MLS, and we advertised it for $380,000. So here's the thing. Do you think somebody who is looking at your deal, if they go and they see that it's already listed on the MLS for the same price or not much of a discount, are they going to think anything? Are they going to think, oh, what's wrong? No, when you list a property, forget what the comps say, all right? In a certain sense of like, if they've had it listed for $380,000 and it's not sold, you're going to need to list it for way less than that if you want to sell it in 1 or 2 months. So we just looked at, well, okay, we feel like the properties are selling for about this in this area. We're going to price it aggressively so that we can sell it quickly in 1 or 2 months. That's why we decided to list it for $280,000. We got an offer for $260,000. I'll talk about how we got an offer in a minute. After closing costs and realtor's commissions of about $13,594 and subtract our purchase price, we made a net profit of $31,406 on this deal. And our marketing campaign costs, never forget marketing costs, because sometimes people show you these big fat checks and you really need to dig down into the numbers and say, okay, really, what did you net? I would estimate for this deal, we had about $1,000 towards marketing, because out of these campaigns that we did, the cold calling and the direct mail campaigns, we spent around $4,000 or $5,000, and we did about 6 deals, 5 deals out of these 2 campaigns that we did. So if you just split it up, evenly, we spent about $1,000. Now, I'll talk about this, I think, in a minute, but let me address it now. When you are doing cold calling, the cost per lead is way less, but the quality per lead is also way less. When you're doing direct mail, your cost per lead is higher, but the quality of the lead is higher. The other thing that you have to remember too, when you're doing cold calling, and that's a great strategy, especially if you don't have enough money for direct mail, or you're tight on your budget, you got to do a lot of cold calling. But the thing with cold calling is you're cold calling people up and they're saying, yeah, I'll sell my property. Well, then you just got to make a lot more offers is what I'm trying to say. So when you're making offers on cold calling, you might have to make 100 offers to get one accepted. Our average is about 100 to 150 offers. Now, that's cold offers without calling them back. With direct mail, depending on the county, we're averaging anywhere from 10 to 20 offers to get one accepted. You'd see the difference in the quality of the leads. Now, with these cold calling campaigns, we did not call back everybody that said they wanted to sell the property. We would have done much better numbers if we would have done that. Does that make sense? I just want to make sure you guys understand that the quality of these leads are different. Now, on this deal, here's some notes that we just did an assignment. We listed it, or we sold it with a realtor, but all we did was an assignment. We didn't use any of our own money. We did not use any of our own money. And this is how we found buyers. This is very, very simple. This is how we found our buyer. We called all the realtors who had sold properties recently in the area. We called all the realtors who had sold a vacant lot and said, hey, we've got a good deal here. Do you have any buyers? And we'll pay you 3% commissions. So we're trying to sell it for $280. All right, so we were willing to pay $8,400 to a realtor if they would have brought us a buyer. Now, I want you to think about this here. This is one of the things I'm going to talk about later, but realtors are awesome. Why wholesalers and investors don't like realtors, don't want to work with realtors, it boggles my mind. I don't know. But realtors have the buyers. They have the buyers. They have the deals. They have the buyers. So why not work with them? Why not offer them really, really generous commissions and try to get them to bring you up? So when we called these agents, we didn't ask them, hey, will you list our property for us? We just said, hey, we've got this good deal. It was listed for $380. We're trying to sell it for $280. And we'll pay you 3% commissions. We'll pay you $8,400 for just sending a couple text messages and making a couple phone calls. What do you think? What do you think these realtors would say? Now, not everyone said, yeah, that's awesome. Thanks. Amazing. Yes. No, we had to talk to about 5 different ones. Finally, we found the realtor who said, well, you know what? I think I know somebody. And I'm not sure who this buyer was. We think it's an investor buyer who wants to build a home on this vacant lot. So we told the realtor, listen, the way we're working this is we're investors from St. Louis. We told them everything. We're wholesalers. We don't know if we actually want to buy and hold this property and sell it with owner financing, or if we just want to flip it. But if this is going to work, we're going to need to do an assignment. And we told the realtor up front, we'll pay you 3% commissions, but you need to find a way to make it work. If you can bring us a buyer, we'll pay you $8,400 in commissions. You need to find a way to make this work where we can just do an assignment and it'll save everybody a lot of money. The realtor said, okay, sounds good to me. We'll find a way to make it work. So here's some important keys through all of this. And I've kind of harped on this already. Never be afraid to make a lowball offer with a deal that works for you. In fact, if you aren't a little afraid, then you're probably offering too much. Another big key from this is cold calling works, but it takes more work. The quality of a cold calling lead is a little bit less than the quality of a direct mail lead. But if you don't have a big budget for direct mail, then you should be doing as much cold calling as you have. So you either have time or you have money. And you might have a lot of money and you don't want to do cold calling, so just do a bunch of direct mail. It's awesome. The ROI on your direct mail is going to be it always is good if you're doing vacant land. With land right now, we are averaging about 1% to 2% response rates with our direct mail, from postcards to letters. But let me tell you something. For houses, I've been doing this a long time, and I talk to a lot of investors all over the country. You're lucky if you can get half of one, like 0.0025% response rates. Okay, 1/4%, you're doing good if you can do that, especially in markets like Florida, California, the competitive markets, Phoenix. Direct mail just doesn't work. So what do you have to do then? You got to do cold calling with a bunch of other people that are doing cold calling, or you have to do PPC, Google ads, YouTube ads, Facebook ads, and things like that, which can get very expensive and complicated, which is why I love vacant land. If I haven't said that enough already, let's move on. There are deals on the MLS. What now? We found this deal from cold calling, right? But what if you don't have the budget even for cold calling? What if you went every single day? And I've done other videos about this. I'll do some more. In fact, why don't we do this right now? I'm going to show you how to find the deals on the MLS. Will that be all right? Will you let me do that? Let's see if I can make this work here. All right, here I am in a county in Florida, in the area where this property is. It's not this same county. And I'm looking at Citrus County in Florida. Well, if you go right here to all filters, look at land, scroll down, time on Redfin, more than 90 days. That's 3 months. Look at this. There's 791 vacant lots on the market over 3 months. What about another filter you can do is more than 180 days? Almost 600 vacant lots in that one county alone that have been on the market over 6 months. Now, you could, if you wanted, remove the $4 million properties. Let's say just show me all the ones under $100,000. 560 vacant lots. What if you just went through this and started calling these agents, O'Neill Woodstock, and just Google them, find their phone number, and say, hey, my name is Joe. I'm looking for some vacant land in the area. I see you've got this property here listed for sale for $53,900. Can you tell me a little bit about it? And just start asking questions. You know, it sounds like a nice property. Why do they even want to sell it? Oh, it's a double lot. Sounds like it's almost a half acre. Most of the properties there are a lot smaller, aren't they? I'm surprised it hasn't sold yet. What's going on? Is it overpriced? Well, you know what? What I do is I'm an investor. I buy land, and I sometimes turn around and resell it with owner financing. If you were to help me, I don't have an agent representing me, but if you were to relist this property for me, what do you think I would need to price it at to sell it aggressively and quickly in like 1 or 2 months? Ooh, now you get the realtor like, because sometimes realtors get stuck. They don't know if they can answer that. The realtor's probably going to say, well, if you're going to sell this thing quickly, you're probably going to need to price it at like $35,000 or something. I don't know, right? But you can call all these agents who have older listings. Now, if you're not a realtor, maybe you could actually skip trace the owner and call the owners and talk to them. I'm not saying you should tell the owner to cancel their listing agreement with that agent, but you could maybe go directly to the owner and make them an offer. What if you just went into some of your, list services like PropStreamJoe.com and look these properties up and just find the owner's information and contact the owner and say, hey, would you be interested in selling this property? I'll pay you $15,000 for it. And there's other really cool things that you can do in sites like Redfin. You can go here and let's say I want all of the listings that have the keyword right here, motivated. There's 15 properties with the word motivated on them. This one's been on the market for 45 days. The seller is very motivated. Why hasn't this sold yet? Well, maybe it's overpriced. So while I'm on the phone with the realtor real quick, I click on the map. I click on map nearby homes for sale. So it's going to put that property right in the center of this map, and I want to look at only the vacant land. I'm going to call the agent up. I'm going to sort this from low to high, and they're asking $21,000 for this property. Here's a property for $11,000. I wonder why that $21,000 property hasn't sold yet. Oh, here's another one for $12,900, $14,000, $14,800. $18,000 So I'm Mr. Seller, Mr. Realtor. Can you tell me a little bit about this area? I'm looking and I'm finding, if I zoom out again here, I'm finding a bunch of properties that are currently on the market for like half of what your client's asking for. I'm sure there must be something special about your property that's why they're asking $21,000 for it, right? And then guess what? You switch to sold. You just go to for sale, click sold, go past the last year, sort this from low to high. Oh, wow, dang. So what's the lowest they would take? The seller, the realtor says, well, they're pretty firm on their price. Okay, I'm sure they have a lot of time then, right? Because I'm looking at solds here. I'm seeing some solds like real close for sale for $6,500, $7,000, $7,500, $7,500. And some of these lots are actually bigger. So the seller isn't flexible on their price, are they? Would they consider something in this price range? Do you see what I just did there? While I'm on the phone with the realtor, calling them about their property, where the seller says they're motivated, let's find out how motivated they actually are. Maybe the realtor doesn't know that there's these low comps here. You're telling the realtor's going to be like, oh man, I gotta tell the seller these things. So the realtor may say, well, probably not. The other thing I do, by the way, is I tell the realtor, well, what if I don't have an agent representing me? So if you can represent me, I'll give you both sides of the commission. That way you can make even more money. The realtor says, yeah, maybe that will work. I don't know. But now the point is you get that realtor on your side working for you. And if this deal doesn't work out, you can ask the realtor, I pay really generous commissions. I pay 10% commission sometimes on these vacant lots, sometimes 15%. I give bonuses if you can sell it quickly. If you find any off-market deals that I can buy at a discount, would you please send them to me? Okay, boom. That's how you make money, right? If you don't have the time or if you don't have the money for direct mail, you can do things like this, where you go into Redfin, find properties that have been on the market for over 6 months, that have motivated keywords in there, and just call the realtors, make offers. Now, this property we're talking about here was listed, right? I could have gone to that. I could have called the realtor and made an offer to that seller. The other rule, important takeaway, is always, always, always be making offers. What's the number one rule in real estate? Make offers, make offers, make offers. That's it. Nothing else matters. Take good pictures of your properties. This is something that we always do. We always get drone footage. We get professional footage, pictures. We want blue sky in the background. You don't want to rely on Google Street Images or just pictures of Plot Map or Google Earth. I'm telling you, it's just like staging a house. Every time we've gotten good pictures, we've gotten a lot more calls, and we sell our deals fast because we do that. Oh, and this is huge right here, guys. This is huge. And again, if you go to simplelandkit.com, I talk about my Land Watch hack. Simplelandkit.com. Check that out, because I'm going to show you in there how to find the areas with high demand. Here's the deal. Success leaves clues. You want to follow the money. And we picked this area because we knew there were lots of buyers buying vacant land. I didn't care one iota how competitive it was and how many other investors were already doing marketing there. I don't care. There's demand there. Nobody is calling sellers cold calling. Nobody is sending the postcards that we are. Nobody's following up like we are. Nobody's talking to sellers like we are. And you know what? It is competitive. So maybe instead of 1 out of 20 offers get accepted, maybe it's 1 out of 50 offers. Well, guess who's going to be the first one to make 50 offers to do a deal? Me. And when I get a deal under contract, guess how quickly I'm going to sell it? Guess how much money I'm going to make on my deals in these hot markets while he's golfing with his friend. Guess who's making that money? Not the people that are afraid of competition, not the people that are afraid to make offers and offend sellers. People who make this kind of money, guys, and I'm not trying to say this to brag, but I'm trying to make a point. People who make this kind of money are the people who make a lot of offers and kind of don't care what people think. They don't care about the money. Where is the money going to come from? How am I going to get a realtor to help me sell this property? I don't have my license. I thought it was illegal, immoral, and fattening to sell properties without your license. So stay in areas of high demand, all right? The other big thing is, this is good. Don't worry about how you will buy or close on the deal if you don't have the money. If you have a good deal, the buyers will come. Normally our deals, we're buying them for 20, maybe selling them for 35, 40, things like that. This was a deal we're buying for $215,000. Where are we going to get that money from? I remember having this conversation with my acquisitions partner, Matt. I said, listen, don't worry about it. This is a good deal. If the seller accepts our offer, for $215. We're going to sell it for $280. It was listed for $380 rather. She bought it 19 years ago for $500,000. We're going to sell this thing. It's a good deal. Let's worry about the money later. So the next big tip is we used realtors. We got on the phone. We called the realtors who have sold properties recently in that area, and we said, we've got a deal. Do you have a buyer? We'll pay you $8,400, 3% in commissions if you bring us a buyer. And the realtor didn't care that we didn't own it yet, that we were just going to do an assignment. The buyer didn't care that he's doing an assignment for $40-something thousand, right? It's amazing. It's a great business. Diversify your marketing is the next best thing here. It's important you do different things. Don't just put all your eggs in one basket. Do mail, do cold calling, go on the MLS, look for deals. You know, another great source for leads are old leads. There are so many you probably have a bunch of old leads right now. There's other land investors who have old leads. So contact them and say, hey, can I use some of your old leads? I'll follow up with them. We'll split the deals. What would you say? So diversify your marketing. Always be doing every single week. Send something in the mail. Send postcards, send handwritten letters. Every day, do at least maybe an hour, half hour of cold calling. Call 20 sellers every day. Every day, go and make at least 5 offers on an MLS listed property. The realtor's not going to care and get mad that you make a ridiculous lowball offer. So I'm taking away all your excuses to fail. The number one rule in real estate is make offers, make offers, make offers. You have every reason right here. You can make more offers than you can handle. Okay. Relates to this. Always be marketing. Always be making offers. Okay, that's all I got here. I would love to be able to golf with you someday and share some more stories about land deals that you're doing. So get out there. Let's do some deals together, all right? Again, go check out simplelandkit.com to get some of the stuff I talked about in this video. I appreciate you all. We'll see you. And subscribe to the YouTube channel. What are you doing? If you watch this stuff and you like it, you want me to do more, subscribe to this channel. Give me a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, please type them in the comments down below. We'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye-bye.